Well, it was leaked today, September 17th, that the rest of the Kashtira cards will be coming into Master Duel, most likely in the next pack that is upcoming. Now, this has serious implications for a couple of reasons because it will likely come in as a Tier 0 meta, much like Tearlaments did, unless they do something to severely nerf the deck, which, if Tearlaments was any guide into how Konami is handling Tier 0 formats, which they know very well that those cards should not be in the game where the engine shouldn't be full power, is they'll let it linger around at full power for a little bit, let people kind of get hyped up on it, then slowly continually hit the consistency of the deck so that you've already invested all of your ultra rare points and or gems to get the packs, but they've chipped away at the normals, super rares, etc. that you need in order to make the deck good and or consistent. For example, see what happened with Tearlaments. Now, what's also important to consider here is that these cards will be coming to the game in the next pack. I believe that means that the Fenrir, the Unicorn, and the main deck monster Riseheart, so not the Riseheart, but the Riseheart, all coming in the other pack, will be gone from the store. So if you see that these cards have hit the game, I don't think you'll be able to buy the other pack anymore, which means you might have lost your opportunity to get the Fenrir and Unicorn if you haven't got them already. Now, of course, with Pearly coming out in the last pack since we're making this video, that deck, which people have already invested in, will have a problem with a Riseheart. You do need to play board breakers if you're going second. If they go first and set this up, everything you play is going to get banished. And obviously, a Riseheart and the Kashtira monsters in and of themselves are extremely powerful at dealing with cards on the field in terms of banishing them. So that is something to consider. Is this deck going to be tier 0? If it comes on hit, and it most likely will come with some nerfs but not serious ones, yes, it will be tier 0. With Fenrir at 2 but Unicorn still at 3, the deck is going to be insanely powerful because Theosis is an instant extender for the deck, and then having the ability to maybe play 3 of this along with 3 Birth just gives you the ability to hopefully search for the other one that you don't have in hand, because you have an opportunity of 1 in 6 to draw it in your opening hand. So your Unicorn, if you open that, and then you search for whatever other spell you don't have. If you have Theosis, you search for Birth. If you have Birth, you search for Theosis. But either one can be good. This will greatly increase the consistency of the pure Kashtira deck and actually finally bring its main boss monster to the field, which is a Macrocosmos on legs, very easy to be summoned. And without the Diablosis ban, this deck is absolutely insane. What might they do? Well, they're not likely to hit a Riseheart. They will likely let this stay at 3 like it was or is in the TCG, OCG, unlike the TCG where they're banning it in the upcoming ban list effective as of September 25th. They will likely hit Field Spell because the OCG guys like to hit the field spells, I guess, which makes sense. It's literally a Rhoda on legs because it stays on the field. Will they hit Theosis? I don't think so. I think they'll probably leave this at 3, and they will make this ultra rare. So these two will be ultra rare, and both will be at 3. And over time in the TCG, everybody eventually played, I think, 3 of this, more or less. So get ready to feel the pain on that one. Field Spell, they probably will make ultra rare just because they made Perlarino ultra rare, even though they limited that to 1. But it would make sense if they made this a rare and just brought it out as at 1. But given the precedent of Tearlaments, it will likely come in at 1 as an ultra rare. Scareclaw, you only play 1 of this anyways. This is probably going to come in as a normal or a rare, but probably not much more than that. I would be surprised if it got super, and definitely not ultra rare treatment. And Big Bang, same thing, probably a normal. Even if these cards get banned, it will not be serious for the deck. Like Big Bang, yes, you play 1 of it, and it is sort of important, but you can function without it. And that being said, maybe Theosis will come in as super if they want to leave it like semi-limited or eventually semi-limit it. But what they actually should do is put Birth to 1, because Birth is literally the most insane card ever for the deck, especially once you get into the grind game. Birth literally just wins them the game if you can't out it. For those of you that don't know what Kashtira does at full power, well, it basically just controls the game and shuts off any graveyard decks. It controls the game in terms of what it has on field. It is very weak to board breakers because they don't put up negates. However, in Master Duel, you will undoubtedly see people playing this deck with negates in order to protect the very powerful Kashtira monsters, and that's why they are broken. Because if you can protect them with negates to prevent them getting even lead or Dark Hold, Raigeki, etc., whatever kind of removal that people might be playing, the actual engine of the deck is almost impossible to beat once it's set up if you can't break the board. And this deck was supposed to be inherently balanced because you can break the board very easily. People were citing Dark Holes and stuff against this deck, and as a result, people were actually playing in order to counter like the spells and stuff that people were using to out the board, like Book of Eclipse, Book of Moons, Dark Holes, etc. They were forbidden. They were main decking Forbidden Lance, which you chain this, target your Arise Heart, and then your Arise Heart is unaffected by the Book of Eclipse, the Dark Hole, etc. And it stays face up on the field where it continues to be a macro Cosmos. Because it doesn't negate effects, it just loses some attack. Okay, so you bring that the Arise Heart in defense mode. It has 3,000 defense, 3,000 attack. It loses the attack. It doesn't matter. It's in defense mode. And it's unaffected by spells and traps. So you can't book it. You can't Dark Hole it. And yeah, you basically have to try to deal with it another way while it continues to banish everything that gets sent to the graveyard from either side of the field. So yeah, Kashtira will become a huge force in the meta. You will probably see a giant increase in the use of Lava Golems, Kaijus, Kurikara. Kurikara shot up in price. It was a $10 card, and it went up to like $70 once Kashtira became a huge force in the meta. So if you did not invest in these, and if you watched my videos a long time ago, I specifically opened the pack with the Kelbeck because I'm like, yes, I want the Kelbecks, but I don't mind also getting Kurikaras because I know I'll need this later on. This card is insane. It will deal with Pearly cards. It will deal with the Kashtira cards. It's a very good card to main deck actually. Even that's how good it is, and even better, other decks can small world bridge into this also. So keep that in mind as well. If your deck has a small world bridge, for example, I know Rika does, and they can easily get through the Kurikara, and that's what the EU champion in the TCG did, Jessica Robinson. They were playing Small World and one Kurikara in the main deck, and they were able to bridge into it, which, if you're playing Rika, you absolutely need to do, because if they have an Arise Heart on field, you can't play with Rika under Arise Heart. Arise Heart just shuts off so many decks. That's why it got banned in the TCG. So these are the kind of cards you'll have to start thinking about implementing into your deck. So start looking up your Small World bridges. Small World is a great card. But honestly, like, if you go second, the opponent doesn't have the negate set up, but they have a very strong Kashtira board. The Arise Heart and stuff have to trigger, so like you will automatically be able to Kurikara it away and then use your deck as normal, right? So just having the ability to search for this card can be very powerful. Of course, you can use Kaijus and stuff as well, but yeah, expect Kashtira to come to the game and be an absolute force. Again, it'll be interesting to see what they do in terms of the limitations, but fairly certain they'll leave it at full power for now. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you have the Kashtira cards ready to go, if you're going to opening this pack, if you're excited or dreading Kashtira coming to the game. I'll do some more meta analysis videos a little bit later on, but I think from what I've seen, that my meta calls prior to the Pearly pack release were kind of trending in the correct direction. We called the decks that were going to be good, but then after Pearly's release, as soon as Pearly was released, I said it was going to be tier 1, and of course, it is tier 1. So yeah, hopefully we know what we're saying here. But what you saw with tier limits on release, with it going to tier 0, if Kashtira isn't hit significantly on release of these new cards, of the extra support, you will see the same thing happen. Everybody will be playing it, and it will be very, very hard to out. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video, guys. Again, leave the comments in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Quantum is out.